there's something that you said before we get on to the plays and those theological themes. There's something that you said a while back, and I'm going to kind of do a detour, which is probably a bad idea, but I'll do it anyway because I can't resist. You said, in your opinion, he's probably I think you said the smartest poet who's ever lived.
Right.
So intelligence in particular, I mean, of course, he's a great poet. Why intelligence? What about him? You say that intelligence is one of his signature characteristics.
So I see it as showing up in, let's say, 3 ways.
Okay.
3 principal ways. One is, I know of no other author who, after the big classical 2 of Homer and Virgil, and then the giant Dante who is looming nearby. And of all people, and this may sound a little bit odd, of all people, Charles Dickens, I know of nobody who is in Shakespeare's league when it comes to the intelligent organization of every single motif, every element of the plot, characters as foils against each other or beside each other, so that an entire story is conceived as a coherent whole, an entire picture from the very beginning, so that the end of the play is secretly present in the first lines of the play. And everything in the play has to do simultaneously with everything else. That kind of architectonic composition, that nobody does that in our time. Nobody. Dickens did it in his novels, and we know that he did it in his novels because he drew up blueprints of those novels, very detailed blueprints, before he submitted a single entry to the popular magazine.
Yeah, that's surprising with Dickens to me. I don't want to get off on Dickens, but because, of course, writing serially, I would have thought that it lends itself to sort of baggy, meandering stories.
He knew that it could do that, and that's why he determined after the Pickwick Papers, which is work of genius, but in a different vein. He seems to have determined that if I'm going to be able to tell coherent story, and it's going to be done serially like this, then I've got to make sure that I know from the beginning who all the characters are, what their mutual relationships will be, what actions they're going to perform in the novel, how they're going to reflect upon one another, what happens in what order. Okay, he plotted it all out. You can see the plot that he made. I just drew up a blueprint for an entire building. Shakespeare did that. You can't. There's nothing in Shakespeare that is there for mere comic relief. At every step, he's thinking about the whole thing. So that's one way.
Yeah.
The second way is that he penetrates more deeply into human character and motives than anybody not named. And we get the great ones here: Homer, Virgil, Dante, Cervantes, Dostoevsky, perhaps Tolstoy. When it comes to getting rid of all of our layers of habit, self-deception, so on, to get to the heart of what motivates a human being, to see right through our pretenses. Shakespeare is a titan when it comes to that. And then we've got, third way, the big human issues, okay? People of a very high quality of the second rank can write really good social comedies that are thoroughly satisfying, but that don't broach eternal questions, okay? She Stoops to Conquer by Oliver Goldsmith, wonderful play.
Yeah.
Easy success on any stage, but it doesn't touch upon eternal truths. Okay. Shakespeare is always in the vicinity. Even when he writes a slight thing like The Merry Wives of Windsor, he's in the vicinity. And when he writes something, The Merchant of Venice or Hamlet or Macbeth or The Tempest, he's grappling with the most important issues of human existence. What life is, what death is, where are we going? What is a human being? Why is a human being glorious? What has become of human beings who are glorious and now sin? What is man now that he has fallen? What do we do if we're to govern a whole bunch of human beings who are fallen and we ourselves are fallen? Right? I mean, nobody in our time comes within light years of even suspecting that these are questions to ask, right? And Shakespeare asks them, teases them out, examines them, and makes suggestions about them. Sometimes comes to some clear conclusions too. Yeah. But he does this more powerfully than anybody who is not named Dostoevsky.